This is Unit 3, Day 3, Part 3. So continuing on with Example 21, Part D. Factor this trinomial by intelligently guessing and checking. This should be quick now. Okay, so again, the question is 4x squared plus 5x minus 6. So I'm going to do this by the slip and slide method here. So if I slip out the 4, I'm going to be left with x squared plus 5x, and then I multiply my a times c, and I'm going to get negative 24. Now you're going to factor this and ask yourself what multiplies to a negative 24, but what adds to a 5, and I'm going to get positive 8, negative 3. Then you slide the 4 back in front of both binomials, and then you're going to reduce each binomial and do not write down what you're reducing by. So this first binomial, I'm going to reduce them both by 4, and I'm left with x plus 2. The second binomial is going to be 4x minus 3. Nothing reduces, so there's my answer. Example 22. Use the intelligent factoring tip developed in Example 21 to factor each of the following trinomials. Note that neither has a GCF to begin with. Okay, I just want to review real quick off the side. Don't forget there's always guess and check as well. Okay, guess and check, you'd have to go through and just trial and error all the way through FOIL. So for example, to get a leading coefficient of 6x squared, you know that it could be a 6x times a 1x, because 6x times 1x would be 6x squared, or it would have to be a 3x times a 2x. But then you have to sit there and think of the factors of what multiplies to 6. So you could try 1 and 6. You could try 2 and 3. But again, you're trying out all trinomials by trial and error until you get your right answer. So guess and check is always an option. All right, a little bit quicker way though, I am going to do slip and slide again. And it did say note that there is no GCF. So you slip out the 6. You're left with x squared minus 13x. Plus 36 from a times c. Factor, what two things multiply to give you a positive 36 but add to a negative 13? It's going to be negative 9, negative 4. Slip the 6 back in front of both binomials, and then you have to reduce each binomial. So the first binomial, I'm going to divide them both by 3, and I'm left with 2x minus 3. The second binomial, I divide them both by 2, and I'm going to get 3x minus 2. And that's my answer. Okay, question B. Slip out the 12. So I get x squared plus 29x, and it would be minus 96 from negative 8 times 12. Factor old school. So I'm going to say what two numbers multiply to give me a negative 96 but would add to a 29. You're going to have to use your calculator and start dividing 96 by 2, 96 by 3. And 96 divided by 3 is going to be 32. So 32 times negative 3 is negative 96, but 32 minus 3 will be a positive 29. Slip the 12 back in front of each binomial. And then you're going to reduce each binomial. So this first binomial, I could divide them both by 4, and I'm going to get 3x plus 8. The second binomial, you can divide them both by 3, and you're going to get 4x minus 1. The last little blurb here says, don't forget, now you have 3 essential types of factoring. 1 is greatest common factor. 2 is the difference of a perfect square, also known as DPS. And 3 is trinomials. Now remember, trinomials you could do by guess and check or slip and slide. We can combine GCF factoring with the 2 others to completely factor quadratic expressions.